And what an absolute beauty, that knockout semi-final, where Highfields have gone to the next round in the minor semi-final for next week. And we're seconds away. Greer Beck, the referee here in this, what do you call it? Major
semi-final, and then next week's the qualifying sign. Greer Beck, he says, let's get going as Corey McGrady kicks in. Alex Ambier gets the ball and he brings it back about 20 metres from his line, Cookie.
Yeah, and he crabs across field and will be wrestled to the ground by Nalone Budden. So Corey Blades has a shot out of dummy half, but he's quickly picked up by the Valleys Roosters defence in Buchanan. Colin Green, who started in the front row this afternoon, he hits and spins his way to the 40-metre line before he's wrapped up. Franciscus gets it on to Manly, Xavier Manley, who gets it just short of the halfway. Franciscus has a shot out of dummy half, and they've started well, the Diehards.
Yeah, good set of 6 so far, Cookie.
Yeah, and they've made it nearly 35 metres out from the Valleys line. So it goes down to Mitchell Taylor, who puts one along the ground, and Dylan Taylor chases it, a good chase. And he wraps up Miles, Zach Miles, and he's 5 metres out from his own try line. Chown has a shot out of dummy half. That's a good run, gets him on the front foot and gets it. And he'll get the penalty out of it too. Greer Beck has no hesitation. Too many players in that ruck there. And so Valleys will get the first penalty of the day. They're running to the southern end of the ground into the wind, while Dalby are running to the northern end of the ground with the wind. And it's a strong south-southwesterly here. Lamb taps it, gets it on to McGrady. McGrady gets it on to Nathan Short, who's forced back in the tackle. Good Dalby defence. There's a heap of in there led by Danny Wassell and Chris Wilkes. So it goes to Buchanan. Buchanan gets it on to, no, he dummies and takes it himself. Wrapped up. Bowring gets it on to Sargent, Nick Sargent, who's come back from a long injury layoff, Obi, in the play at 10 short of half time. Yeah, so they've come down this right-hand side, and Budden hits and spins, but Chris Wilkes stops him in his tracks with the help of Cody Milne and Dan Manley. So they come to the right to Sargent. He had to stretch out to take that, and they've just worked it into Dalby territory on the last tackle. They'll go the left through Bowring into McGrady. McGrady puts up one of them towering bombs. It's an absolute beauty. It bounces.
Just about.
Yeah.
Have we got you, Nutsy, down the sideline?
No,
Nutsy, you haven't got Nutsy yet. He must be caught up chatting as he usually does. That right, Cookie?
Yeah. Always, there's plenty to talk to down there, that's for sure. He'd be in amongst the Cowboys down there. There'd be a few disappointed.
No, just talking to a couple of people there as I was coming through.
It's a real social Sunday, isn't it, Nutsy? And two sets of 6. They were very, very good, both those sets of 6, weren't they, Nutsy? Oh, we're having trouble there.
So I'll be out of power here. I'll come up and get some batteries.
The S&K drilling scrum, and it's been taken out by Zach Morris. Zach Morris plays it. Xavier Manley. That's a great run. We'll play it 30 metres out from the Valleys line. They go to the right through Cody Milne. Cody Milne just dummies to his right and takes the tackle, but he's worked his way to the 22. So Wassell gets it onto Xavier Manley, but he's dropped the ball, dropped it cold, and they've turned defence into attack, and they've got it out here to Zach Miles on the right-hand side, but he's quickly claimed by Dylan.
Yeah, looks like it's Xavier Manley down, is that right?
Yeah, I think it's, yeah, it is Xavier Manley still down, so he must have been injured in that tackle.
We can hear the Highfields war cry underneath our feet here, Cookie, can't we?
We certainly can.
Yeah, I think is that their first finals win?
Yes,
in
first grade, yeah. So I know Gus McKellar, he's really happy with the performance, even though, like, as their penalty count, their discipline sort of nearly ruined it for them this afternoon, but they've come away, and I think a very smart kicking game by Sean Loxley that at crucial times settled them down and got them field position, and he scored the try that got them right into the game.
Yeah, that's sure right. And in that reserve grade final, finished full-time 30 points to 10. Gatton and Pittsworth are playing at the moment in the 2 versus 3. So Valleys reserve grade out of the 2018 final series. Over to you, Cookie.
So Zach Miles plays at 15 out from his own line, and Callum Hart takes a scoot out of dummy half and gains 10 metres. Bowring tries to catch the markers offside, but Greerbeck says no, they were all right, and excuse me, they were lined up. So Chown gets it onto Sargent. Sargent gets it onto Buchanan running straight, and he's pulled down 5 short of the halfway. Chown taken by Xavier, Manley and Wassell. So willing contest early in this opening exchanges. 5 minutes gone, it's 0-0. So the Valleys Roosters work their way through Brett Seymour over there on the left. Must be playing out in the centres, I think.
Okay.
We
got you, Nutsy, again?
Yeah, we got you now, Obi.
All right, mate, he's got batteries and away we go. It's 0-0 here, 5 minutes in. Valleys versus Dalby, Cookie.
Yes, so another ball that's gone. No, it's going to be a changeover because it was the last tackle, so it'll be a changeover to the Diehards, and they'll work it out from their own line. And a bad pass by Cody Milne from dummy half. Went behind Colin Green. He stuck out his hand, so there's a knock on. So a CR concreting coach killer there for Derek Brady. And Valleys will get a scrum 30 metres out from the Diehards line.
It is, and settling down. Xavier Manley looks good after being down with injury 5 minutes ago.
So Seymour takes it out of the scrum, gets it on to McGrady. McGrady on to Chown, Chain on to Hart. Chown on to Hart, and Hart goes out. And Corey Blades has picked it up, and they're going to say Corey Blades has knocked it on. So a lucky break there for Valleys again. Nothing going right for Diehards. Their start so far has just been a few mistakes, and Valleys will get another S&K drilling scrum, 30 out from the line, this time on the clubhouse side, and McGrady will feed it.
If you've just joined us, Highfields defeated Warwick in the earlier game. And Cookie.
Yeah, so Hugh Sedger goes out to the left. Chown takes it, going across field. Then he straightens up, comes back, and he's finally put down by Steve Franciscus over on that far side. So it comes back through the 15 in Jared Dodd, who works his way just short of the 22. It comes back to Buchanan. Buchanan puts his hands up as though he's a shepherd, but Greer Beck says play on, didn't interfere with anyone, and will play it on the 22. So they come back to McGrady. McGrady turns Sargent back in, Chown back up the middle, but Colin Green shuts that down with Wassell around the legs, and they'll pull him down 19 out from the line. So they go to the left. Hugh Sedger takes on the line, gets one to Seymour, looked forward, but the referee says play on. It goes back to Chown. Chown spots half a gap, but Xavier Manley closes that.
He sure
absolutely thumps him. Plays it on the last tackle. It goes to McGrady. McGrady puts one along the ground. Steve Franciscus has had a chop on it. It's knock on, and they'll get 6 to go. Valleys, so it's been all Valleys in the last couple of minutes, and Diehards will have to defend their line. Seymour gets it on to Buchanan, and he'll crash over for the first try here. Great work by Seymour. Great short pass onto Buchanan, I think it is, who's crashed over, and Valleys will take a 4-0 lead after 8 minutes.
Yeah, nutsy.
Yeah, all very simple there by the Valleys side there. They got the numbers in, but it come off the mistake of the Dalby side. Geez, this wind down here, Cookie. I don't know how it was blowing for you in the first in that first game, but it's picked up and it's really blowing a gale.
Nutsy, have you got a sock on that?
Most certainly have. That's how strong that wind is.
Holy moly.
She is really galloping now.
Unbelievable stuff. Anyway,
I might just turn it off in between times, eh?
Oh, yeah, if you like, mate. But we are 4-0. Toowoomba Sports Club tried to Dexter Buchanan. He won 2 Hutchies Player of the Match this year. Our Toowoomba Sports Club Player of the Day today was Sean Loxley after their 28-14 win over Warwick. Warwick can pack their bags for the 2018 season. And Brett Seymour. only taken it back about 18 metres. He's about 10 metres in. 9 minutes in, 4-0 Valleys over Dalby for this Goodyear Gold. And in he comes. And
he misses.
No, I don't think there's been one kick taken from that side that's actually
From
made
the
it
southern
today.
end,
What do you
from the
reckon,
southern
Nutsy? You there, Nutsy?
Yeah,
I'm here. I'm here. I'm turning this off. The wind is
keep it on, mate. I
unbelievable.
think you'll be right. I'll put you on mute here.
That's
mate.
going into the wind too, the Valley side. So let's see how the Dalby side kicks off here. They can ill afford. I thought both sides before this game really executed the breeze well, but it's picked up. It's really blowing.
And the ball falls off the tee, which was pretty good timing. See, we were all talking about the wind. Is that right, Cookie?
Yeah, that is for sure. And we get us underway. Zach Morris puts a wonky old kick. They let it bounce and it'll beat them all. Chown and Buchanan had a bit of a mix-up there in goal and it's gone dead. So a bit of luck for the Diehards, which they need because the last three sort of 50-50 calls has gone against them. And they'll get a goal line dropout from the Valleys Roosters. And this will be Dalby's first chance to mount any pressure in attack. They trail 4-0, 10 gone.
Yeah, saw that a number of times last game, didn't we? Nutsy, back to you,
Yep.
Cookie.
Yep, so Ambier takes it over on that right-hand wing and he straightens up, tries to do a bit of footwork, but he's flung into the ground. Hugh Sedger, I think it was, absolutely poleaxed him to the ground. So Colin Green, he takes a hit up, settles the play down, and he's wrestled to the ground, takes three of them to pull down. Nick Sargent there and Nathan Short. They hit that right-hand side through Cody Milne, I think it is, who's wrapped up. No, it's Chris Wilkes, but the Greer back says hands in the ruck. They've rafed the ball out, so Dalby will get a penalty, 10 out, 15 out from Valley's line. I'd say they'll take the tap. They'll just tap it and punch one forward.
Their first penalty of the match.
And it goes to Dylan Taylor, gets it on to Xavier Manley. And Xavier Manley just crashes forward. He plays it 11 out. So Steve Franciscus, he'll go close. Geez, the Spider-Man nearly reached out and placed that down. He'll play it a metre out from the line. So Dylan Taylor gets it on to his brother Mitch. Mitch gets it on to Dan Manley. But Corey McGrady, ball and all, absolutely thumps him to the ground. So Wassell gets it on to Xavier Manley. Xavier Manley tries to crash over, but a good tackle by Short around the legs. So they come to the left. It goes out to Zach Morris, and he'll crash over in this left-hand corner. And the Diehards are on the board, so they've levelled the scores here at 4-all after 12 minutes with the kick to come.
So, Nutsy, they've sorted each other out. Who's going to win this match?
Yeah, no, look, I mean, that was quick, good. That was good vision too. Morris had a bit of space there. Look, I mean, it's both forward packs just still trying to sort each other out. They're going at it, but look, I mean, I'm not going to make any calls yet, but I just think Dalby might be just travelling a little bit better. Valleys just look a shade slow to me, but anyway, they're running into a big stiff breeze, and Dalby with the breeze behind them to get the game back to 4-all. Franciscus, that was a big run. Valley's done well to hold him out. And once again, we're seeing Xavier Manley take the line on there. And I can't come up with a winner yet, Obi. Far too early for that.
Okay, who have you tipped in this one, mate?
I tipped Dalby. But I tell you what, if you had a windmill pumping water today, she'd be working overtime, I tell you.
Anyway, Zach Morris, he's right on the sideline. He's brought it back 30 metres. And he's got the south-southwest wind with him. As he comes in, he kicks it. It'll have the leg.
Fade right.
Fade away to the right there for that Goodyear goal. So she's a tied-up ball game, 4 points all. And we've got Gatton and Pittsworth reserve grade over in the other field. We'll have a score from there very shortly. Cookie.
Yeah, so I'll tell you, that wind has really picked up. So
It's unbelievable down here, Cookie.
And it's cold too, isn't it?
It's freezing.
I thought you were from Wolf Creek.
I'm going to go and get another jacket, I think.
Anyway, McGrady gets us underway. Oh, Corey Blades has put one down. It was howling up there for a while, and it's come actually back, and And Corey Blades is knocked on off the kickoff, so an S&K drilling scrum to Valley, so they'll get another opportunity to go deep inside Dyard's 22 with a scrum.
I just checked the temperature, 14.7, feels like 3.
You got that right.
That's what it says on the thing, mate.
Yes,
44,
Phil,
44 degrees, west-southwest, the winds at 44 kilometres.
So it comes out to Budden on this right-hand edge, and he gets a ball back to Chown. Chown will straighten the play up, but he's quickly rounded up by Wassell and Corey Blades. They go to the left to McGrady. McGrady gets it onto the 23, and Brett Seymour, who straightens the play up, but he's crunched 10 out from the try line. They keep it coming to the right. Comes down to Buchanan. No, Short. Nathan Short straightens the play up back towards the post, and he's wrestled to the ground. There's 3 of them in there, and they finally, Colin Green's the main man. They come out the back. No, it was a flat ball. Nearly came off to Budden, but Budden's pulled down a metre short. And I don't think that was supposed to go to Nathan Short there. McGrady was wedged in behind him, and Short's put it down. Golden opportunity, so it'll be a changeover on the last tackle. Colin and Green will play at 10 out from his own line.
Yeah, around the grounds, Perfume Pest Control in reserve grade 2 against 3. Gatton 10, Pittsworth 0. Nutsy.
Yeah, well, it's Valleys, as we see, Valleys can come up with a bad mistake, as we see. I'll get back to you as Dalby go. Good run here.
Yeah, Ambia got it onto Corey Blades. Great run by Ambia, getting them started on that first tackle. Plays it 10 short of the halfway. Steve Franciscus gets a ball onto Cody Milne, who's running straight. Great play by him. So they keep it going the same way. Steve Franciscus, no, he decides to come back the other way. Throws a ball out the back. Wassell has to clean up the scraps, but he's quickly wrestled to the ground by Seymour. So they go to the right. Mitchell Taylor punches one into the corner. That's a good kick. Will it hold up? Yep, Chown's got to go back in goal, but the chase isn't that great. And the kicker in Mitchell Taylor rounds him up and puts him to ground 10 out from his own try line. So the 3 in Hawkins. Matty Hawkins gets a ball back. I think it's Chown over there. Brings it back out. Heavily defended there by Cody Milne. Buchanan, he hits and spins out of it and gets it 10 metres forward. They come back to Sargent. Sargent does a bit of a shimmy before the line before he's wrapped up. Hopper's out there with the help of Colin Green. They go to the right, and it goes on to Aikens, I think it is. No, Drew Jackson, the big fella. He got pulled down just short of halfway. So Sedge's going to put that one out on the full. He's absolutely overcooked that one with the wind. So it'll be a changeover to the diehards just on Valley side of the halfway.
And Nutsy, haven't we seen that all day? You just cannot make a mistake when you're going into the wind in these matches.
Yep.
Nutsy, sorry.
That's exactly right there, Obi. They're kicking that ball there into the big wind, and we've seen how big of an advantage this Dalby side's got. This, as we said, the wind has picked up, but I thought Valley's had a good set there, but a bad kick on the end of it.
Yeah, so Steve Franciscus doing a probing run that he always does, looking for support, out his arm free, but the support was late coming. So Wassell comes in, gets it onto... Oh, Dylan Taylor. Dylan Taylor's stopped in his track by...
Sargent, wasn't it?
And Nathan Barry and Sargent. Yep.
Absolute beauty. So it goes to Mitchell Taylor. Mitchell Taylor dummies to his outside, but he's shut down. So Wardrop's come into the game too. Colin Green, he goes for the post. He's only a metre to the try line. Last tackle. Can Valleys hang on? Wassell, they go to the right. Oh, good defence by Hugh Sedger on Dylan Taylor, I think it was. Was it Dylan or Mitchell? But
Mitchell it was.
It put him under all sorts of pressure. Yeah, Mitchell it was. And absolutely thumped him, and they've ended up getting a changeover with a knock-on. Seymour will play it 10 out from his own try line.
So far, Nutsy, I reckon Valleys have come to play.
Yeah, well, they've been really holding Dalby out under a lot of pressure here, so... Valley's defence, you've got to give it some credit there because they raced up on Taylor there and put him under all sorts of pressure and then come up with a bad pass. But that you've got to give that Valley's credit there.
So it comes out to
Jackson,
Drew Jackson, the big fella. He's a big man. He's about 6'3".
Nanango kid.
Yeah. So they come through McGrady onto Budden. Budden taken by Zach Morris in a ball and all tackle with the assistance of Wardrop and Green. So they go back to McGrady. McGrady's going to kick early, and it goes out there to Ambier. Ambier lets it bounce, but a favourable one.
Cookie.
Yeah, favourable one for him. He slips over, so the Valleys defence. But he gives him a big don't argue to Hawkins over there, I think it is.
It was a great kick into the wind, Nutsy.
Yeah, that was much better kick there by McGrady. Really set him alight, but they've given away a penalty here. They could ill afford to do that after a good set and a good kick, and now they're going to let themselves off the hook again here. Valleys, Dalby will kick this deep.
So Mitchell Taylor.
Earlier matches, Highfields 28-14 over Warwick. Warwick get ready for 2019. Highfields play the loser of this match, Cookie.
Yeah, so Danny Wassell will tap it about 5 metres short of the halfway on that junior clubhouse side. No, Steve Franciscus will now, and he gets it onto Wardrop. Oh,
some chairs just going flying here, Cookie, right in front of me.
Yeah, so...
This is atrocious conditions.
Anyway, Wassell goes in. Dylan Taylor's had the big captain Cook, so haven't really started this game. Both sides are making fundamental errors, Obi, in these early exchanges.
I think it's advantage Valleys at the moment, you know, like Dalby. And I hate to keep dwelling on this wind, you know, they just haven't used this wind. I mean, I haven't seen the team kick it on the third tackle all day today.
I suppose you got they sort of think they can get it into reasonable field position with the wind behind them, Obi, but you are right. No team today has kicked early with this breeze.
Yeah, so Dodd will play it just 5 metres over into Dyard's territory. Great tackle over there by Steve Franciscus on Seymour, wrestles him to the ground. They come back to the middle through Nick Sargent. Nick Sargent dummies to a runner and takes the ball himself, and he's wrapped up by Hopper. So they come to the right through Jackson. Jackson, the big fellas, bowling them over like pinballs. So they come back. Buchanan goes out to Sedger. Sedger comes back towards the middle looking for a runner, but ends up taking the tackle in a Dylan Taylor tackle with the help of Dan Manley. No, Wardrop it was. So it goes to McGrady. McGrady's going to do a crossfield kick. Ambier goes up for it and he'll knock it on. So I probably would have let that bounce myself in these conditions. I don't know, it's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, he's got to go up and have a go at it. McGrady, once again, that was very, very good kicking in this big breeze.
Smart play, so they'll get an S&K drilling scrum about 15 metres out from the Dyards line. So Valleys will get another opportunity to put some pressure on the Highfields line.
Yeah, conditions 50-kilometre wind, and I was just about to say you always catch it on the full, but here's the feed, Cookie.
So it's taken out by Seymour, gets it onto McGrady. McGrady has Hart there, but doesn't use him and takes the tackle. Dan Manley, the defender. So Hart goes from dummy half. Big, strong man he is, and he gets a ball back to Zach Miles. Zach Miles crabs across field, looking for an opening, but it closes. Danny Wassell closes it on him with the help of Colin Green over the top. So they come back through Nick Sargent, back through this right-hand side, but the Dyards defence holds its line and pulls him down 8 metres to the try line. So it goes out to McGrady. He's going to take the line on. He beats one, gets it out to Dodd. Dodd straightens the play up. Tries to crash over, but there's 5 metres to the try line. So Hawkins, he has a shot from dummy half, but there's plenty of Dyards defence there. So one tackle to make. They come out the back. It goes to Sedger. Sedger comes back down the blind, gets it back, goes to Dodd. Dodd throws a long ball, and Buchanan, no, it's not Buchanan.
At Bowring, and he gets it to Chown. He's inside his own half, Cookie.
They've lost go. Now it goes to Buchanan. Buchanan, the Dyards defence. That's great work by them. So they've forced them back 45 metres.
On the 5th tackle. Yeah. Wasn't that unusual, Nutsy?
Yeah. Unbelievable, isn't it? Well, I tell you what, Valleys really mounted some pressure on the Dalby side there. McGrady's really testing them, and look, they're just both sides just struggling with this breeze, Cookie.
They are, and it has gone up since last game, don't you reckon, Cookie?
Oh,
Yeah.
mate, well, it's just unbelievable down here on the sideline. As I said to you before, the listeners, the chairs went flying here before. I don't know what's blowing it, but I better get back to you, Cookie.
So Corey Blades gets it on to Zach Morris. Zach Morris goes towards the try line. They try and drag him out, but there's only 5 metres to it. So it goes out to the 2 and Jamie Lawton, who runs across field, but he's easy pickings. And they go right. It goes to Dylan Taylor. Dylan Taylor straightens up, looks to get some support, but it closes. Seymour shuts it down. So they go to the right, and it goes out to Mitchell Taylor. Mitchell Taylor onto Corey Blades. Corey Blades, Franciscus.
He pulled out of it.
Yeah, and he says play on, the referee, and now he kicks to the corner, and now he's going to give the penalty. So I don't know what that was for.
I'm not sure there, Greer Beck.
Yeah, he's saying a shepherd, so they gave themselves up there, really, Dalby.
Well, he sure did, because actually Corey Blades went the other way, but it was an unusual stop, but the right decision, I think, there, Nutsy.
Yeah, both sides, and we've seen it in the earlier game, both sides are just struggling to capitalise on this breeze. Like Dalby here, once again, it's only 4 all. You've got to give Valleys a fair bit of credit there, the way they have defended, but the 2 sides before struggled to control the ball with this breeze.
So it goes on to Drew Jackson out in the middle of the field, but the defence is up in his face, and Wardrop wrestles him to the ground. So Bowring gets it on to Buchanan. Buchanan sort of stops and shimmies before the line, and he's wrapped up, 4 of them in there. Plays at 5 short of the halfway. So it goes on to Riles, I think it is. Jake Riles plays it just over the halfway line. So it goes on to Buchanan. Buchanan hits and tries to hit and spin out of it, but Wardrop up to the task. So it goes to McGrady. So they've worked their way 30 out from the Diehards line, the Valleys Roosters, on the last tackle. Bowring gets it to Seymour. Seymour puts a crossfield kick. Chown's after it. Corey Blades is there.
Oh, I think he's got this, Cookie.
I think he has.
I think Chown's got this.
I think Chown's outbeat.
Yes,
running.
It's right in front of me there. I think he's got there.
He's actually outbeat the master,
Yeah.
Corey Blades, because he was flying. Because I don't think Blades, he realised he was coming through that quick. Did you, Nutsy?
No, look, and is he going to give it a try? Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic
Dylan
awareness.
Chown, absolute. That's just desperation, like just sheer will.
Yeah, great
Corey
try.
Blades.
And it was a fantastic kick by Seymour. He sort of...
Great touch work. Great touch work there, Cookie and Obi. He was right there on at the touch judge.
Yep.
And no hesitation in saying it was a try.
Yeah, unbelievable. Great Toowoomba Sports Club try. 8 points to 4. Valleys over Dalby going into the win. Valleys around the grounds. Profume Pest Control. Reserve grade 2 versus 3. Gatton 10. Pittsworth 0 after 25 minutes.
He loves it.
Yeah, what a try and a half it was, you know. And gee, Dylan Chown, we haven't seen much of him this year, but he really put the pedal to the metal, didn't he, Cookie?
Yeah, well, Corey Blades had it covered so easily, but just Seymour comes in, converts the Goodyear goal and gets it. So they skip out to a 10-4 lead with 13 to play till half time. And as you said, Dylan Chown, just sheer will to get there, scores the Toowoomba Sports Club try.
Nutsy.
Yeah. I reckon that was great anticipation by Chown. He really chased, and Blades had about 5 metre lead on him, and who would have thought that Chown could get to within Blades, and Blades was really going hard, but the magnificent work and going into the breeze. We've only got 12 minutes to go here with the Valleys leading 10 points to 4. Geez, they're going to have to like their chances in the second half, aren't they?
They certainly are. So we get underway and it goes down to Hugh Sedges. Sedges gets it on a Buchanan. He fires it back like a cannon, and he forced back in the tackle of Steve Franciscus. So they come through Drew Jackson. Drew Jackson, big man carrying players with him. Finally, they wrestle him to ground, and he'll play it 25 out from his own line. Bowring has a shot from dummy half. Colin Green lucky not to get caught offside there from marker, but the referee says play on. Big 10 metres. So they come back down that left-hand side through Dodd. Dodd gets it just short of the halfway, and he'll play it over on that far touchline. They keep it going down that, Bowering. Will be wrestled to the ground by Mitchell Taylor from marker. So they come back to the right, goes to Sedger. Sedger will put up a midfield bomb, but it's going backwards, and they'll just let it bounce, but it bounces favourably for Valleys, and it'll end up with Lawton. Jamie Lawton, who picks it up just shy of his 30-metre line, and he get it back to his 40. So Corey Blades gets it on to Wardrop. Wardrop only knows one way, and that's straight up the middle. That's a dangerous tackle. They lifted him past the horizontal, and Greerbeck has no hesitation in giving that penalty, and he's going to call someone out. I think it's Jake Riles will get called out, who was the main instigator. Nothing in it, really.
Anyway, he's called out Dexter Buchanan, Brett Seymour, and they put it on report. So what do you see of that one, Nutsy?
Oh, look, I think he'll be okay. Don't think he'll have too much to worry about there, but here's a big chance for Dalby. Now, if they're going to get back in the game, Cookie and Obi, they need to really construct it. Dalby have struggled with this. You know, they've got the breeze at the back, trying to set their plays up. Now, Taylor's been there a couple of times, but the players are just having trouble adjusting with the breeze and hitting the hole. See what they can do here.
Yeah, Nutsy, I think that the side that just goes punches 1, 2, 3 and then goes a little bit wide has been the successful one.
Exactly right, and you've seen Highfields do that in the game before as the diehards go close here.
Yeah, Wardrop, he punches it forward and he'll play at 11 out from the Valleys line. Bentley goes in at dummy half. Gets it out to Dylan Taylor. Dylan Taylor onto Hopper, and Hopper just... bad pass, and they
was a real bad
there it
pass.
Is again, see?
Yeah, so they just
come on, boys.
The cohesion's just not there for the diehards at the moment.
And it's advantage Valleys at the present time. They are playing very well. But look, when you think about it, all the sides that have gone into the wind have played well, the ones that have won today, don't you reckon, Nutsy?
Oh, exactly right. Yes, you were seeing the Highfield side in the game before. They really controlled that game in the second half. And Valleys are doing much the same here in this top game. They've got that nice little lead of 10 points to 4 as they see him bringing the ball off their own line, Cookie.
Yep, so Hawkins does a scoot out of dummy half. There's plenty of Dalby defence in there, and he'll play it on his own 22-metre line. Wardrop trying to get his arm out. Referee says play on. So he goes to Drew Jackson. Drew Jackson winds up with a head of steam, but he's chopped down by Wilkes. So Bowering gets it on to Buchanan. Good tackle by Wilkes again around the legs. Nullifies him. Bentley over the top. So they come to McGrady. McGrady on to Budden. Budden, no-look pass. It was a terrible pass, and now it's been knocked on by Valleys.
Yes.
I think a bit too creative in this weather, so an opportunity Valleys would like to go back on, but they don't. So Dalby will get an S&K drilling scrum on Valleys 40-metre line.
I tell you what, Nutsy and Cookie, you know, like we were such a high after that wonderful win by Highfields, and there was plenty of action, real hard stuff, and here it's a bit of a drop-a-thon at the moment.
I just reckon on that, I reckon the last game he was a much higher standard, Obi and Cookie.
Yeah,
right.
So Zach Morris tries to palm off McGrady, but they too good, and Budden puts him to ground. Hopper, that's better run, just get a full steam ahead and run onto it, boy, and that's what he's done. And a knock on again, so just trying to push it too hard, the diehards, hence the mistake rate of them. So Valleys will get an S&K drilling scrum on there. 35-metre or 30-metre line, I'd say, and
under 7 stuff round the grounds. Profume Pest Control, Gatton 10, Pittsworth 0 in the reserve grade 2 versus 3 over there on the Brothers Junior field. We're on the Brothers Senior field. Here's Valleys bringing out from their own quarter.
Budden, that's a good run. Poked his nose through the line, and Corey Blades pulls him to ground. So Hugh Sedger, very creative. Palms off one of them, gets it to Chown. Chown rounded up. No, Bentley falls off him, and now he's rounded up. I think Corey Blades, yep, his opposite number. He's a bit dirty that he got under his guard in that last try.
You never see that very often, do you, Cookie?
No, you don't.
Blades, you'd have to back him all the time when he's in open space.
So Jackson will play it on the halfway line. It comes to Riles. Riles dummies to his outside, and he's rounded up by Hopper. and Dan Manley. They come through McGrady. McGrady goes back up the middle to Bowring. Bowring gets it to Seymour. Seymour gets it back to Sedger. Sedger gets it on, looking for support. Now he gets it on to the 2 or 3. He's a new player that's come in. I'm not sure who it is. Richard Murray. Richard Murray, who's come into the game. Now McGrady puts up one of them bombs. Corey, no, it's taken by Dylan Taylor, is it?
Taylor, I think.
Mitchell.
Well, it was funny because Corey Blades went for it and Mitchell Taylor took it, and they both took it together. You don't see that often, Nutsy.
No, you don't. And it was a correct because he got it off Corey Blades, but he once again, you got to give McGrady. That was a real good kick again too, Cookie.
Ambia, and he gets the penalty too. If he doesn't go through, he gets the penalty 9 times out of 10, Ambia, and he always gets you on the front foot. So great play by him, and Dalby get their 3rd penalty. Valleys haven't received one yet.
I'll make it 4th, mate. No, I said
4th.
They got
there
2,
you go.
so the penalties are 4-2 to Dalby, you idiot. All right, doesn't matter. As long as we're doing it. Anyway.
So Bentley taps it, gives it to Wilkes. Wilkes crashes, and he crashes up over the 30-metre line to the try line. So they go to Colin Green. Colin Green, that's better play. Carts it forward, yeah. He gets it within 15 of the try line. Referee calls time on. He says go back. So Bentley goes into dummy half. Gets it onto Wardrop. Wardrop dummies to his outside. And the Valley's defence right up in his face. Bentley has a shot out of dummy half, beats the marker, but he has Corey Blades in support, but he's pulled down a metre to the try line. So they go flat to Xavier Manley. Xavier Manley will crash over, and that's great play by the Diehards. Just simple play, and Xavier Manley's crashed over for the Toowoomba Sports Club try to make it 10-8 with the kick to come with 5 to play till half-time, and that is a telling blow to the Valleys Roosters.
Yeah, Toowoomba Sports Club try there for Xavier Manley. And Nutsy, look, it was a bit of a lull in the game with 5 minutes until half-time.
Yes, exactly.
But it was a very important try for the Dalby Diehards.
Well, I reckon Xavier Manley's been one of Dalby's best in the last, I suppose, month. He's hit a real purple patch of form. He's took that in there. He went close earlier in the game, but that time he just strolled through. Very good try, and as you said, it was just sort of stalemate going from one side to the other, one end to the other, but anyway, he's broke that open now, so let's see what they can do now, the Diehards.
Yeah, but Nutsy, the old 1, 2, 3, just keep pounding at him, seems to work, and a flat ball on the try line has got the results there.
Always will work, Cookie.
Yeah. So Zach Morris, chance to level the score, and I think Dalby would be happy with that scoreline going into the half-time sheds.
My word, because I reckon Valleys have had the better of this first half, Cookie and Obi.
Oh, yeah, by far.
Thanks for putting me down this win in this game, too.
Oh, well, hey, hang on. You just come up here, we'll swap.
I think I might send Obi down there. He's got a bit more padding than what I've got.
And the Goodyear goal goes over for Zach Morris, and it ties up the game. 10 points all, just under 4 minutes left. And the grand announcer Jody Tees is copying me there. Nothing. Anyway, it's been a dow first half. No one taking a sentence.
Dow first half.
Yeah, and these last, are we going to score before half time, Nutsy?
No prediction?
Yeah. No, won't be no score here before. Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, it's that
10
type of
all.
game. I don't think so. They're very cautious
Valleys
of
have
each other.
Obi, I think Valleys have just been probably the better side in this first half.
And Corey Blades had to race across field to get that kick, and he gets it onto Colin Green, and he gets it 12 out from his own try line. So Corey Blades has a shot from dummy half down that blind side on the right-hand edge. Steve Franciscus backs it up too, and he comes back towards the middle looking for a runner. Gets it onto Dylan Taylor, Mitchell Taylor, who gets it onto Zach Morris, who juggles, and they've worked their way to up to their 40-metre line. So constructive play by Diehards. So it gets onto Wardrop. Wardrop only knows one way. That's a good run by the big fella, and he claims 15 metres. So Ambia comes in. Good work by the Diehards, and I'll tell you, they've worked it 25 metres out from the Valleys line on the 5th tackle. So it comes to Dylan Taylor, kicks for his brother Mitchell. No, Mitchell kicked for Dylan. And it goes...
Richard Murray. Oh, he's lost the
Richard
ball.
Murray. So a knock on there, so...
Penalty.
Strip there.
Yeah.
Round the grounds, Profume Pest Control. Gatton 10. Pittsworth nil, been that score for a long time over at reserve grade in the junior field here at Brothers. And we have a penalty is 4-3 to Dalby. Is that right, Cookie?
Yeah, you'd be right there.
First time you called me right. Thank you very much, darling. Anyway, it's a penalty to Valleys. They're 10 metres out.
Seymour just taps it and gets it onto Budden, and Budden works it up to his 22 before he's wrestled to the ground by Bentley.
Half-time.
So the big fella in Ben Aikens, the 22's come into the game. He's a big man too. Where's he been hiding?
No, reserve grade Ben.
Yeah.
He's played well last year, just hasn't seen first grade this year.
So Richard Murray, wrestled to the ground, goes to Seymour, onto Aikens. Aikens forced back in the tackle. Good tackle by Xavier. Manly ball and all, wraps him up. 5 short of halfway. McGrady puts in a low kick. Lawton goes back for it, picks it up on his 22, throws a dangerous pass to Corey Blades, but it's come off all right, and he straightens the play up, and he'll play it 30 out from his line. So Lawton has a scoot out of dummy half, but that's a good tackle by Richard Murray, forces him back. So Steve Franciscus, the Spider-Man, still going, gets it to the halfway before he's wrapped up by Seymour. So good tackle by Bowring on Ambier. Ambier got it back to Blades, and Blades still wrestling in the tackle of Seymour, finally put to ground. So Franciscus got more involved in this last part of this half, gets it out to Wilkes onto Ambier, so they've got a slight attacking charge down that right-hand side, and he's got it within 19 metres of the try line. Bentley goes into dummy half. They come back to Mitchell Taylor, who puts in a kick. It's reflected off the Valleys Roosters, and Seymour bludging on the blind down that side.
With 13 seconds left until half-time. And he's
Suck it in the big ones.
Yeah. That's right.
You said that exactly right, Cookie.
Yeah, but it needed to slow down for Valleys because Dalby were dangerous, and that'll make it half-time here.
Yeah, and
at
there
the
goes
Hutchies
the
match
siren.
of the day, where we see tied up ball game, Valleys versus Dalby, a Dow affair. Nutsy, what's your take?
Yeah, well, I mean, nothing in the game as the scoreline would suggest, but Warsall's just got a bit of a limp here. I tell you what, they can ill afford to lose him. He's a little workaholic for the Dalby side.
Yeah, he's their heart and soul.
Let's take a break. It's 10-0 Gatton over Pittsworth in the reserve grade. They're 2 versus 3. Be just about half-time over there. 10-all here in the Hutchies match of the day. It is the OB and Cookie Call live on Power FM.
Hi, this is Mick Jagger on
Classic Vinyl.
This is Debbie Harrow from Blondie.
This is Jimmy Barnes here.
Stevie Nicks from Fleetwood Mac.
This is Reverend Willie G from ZZ Top.
The best tracks from the greatest albums of our generation.
That's right.
From your breakfast and coffee to your drive home.
We've got the classic hits that make your workday.
And you got a job to do.
Go by a lot faster.
Hey, if we haven't said it lately, thanks for listening. The home of classic rock.
Don't touch the dial.
PowerFMradio.com.au.
Too much debt? Fixed. Too much stress? Fixed. Too many hassles? Fixed. Central Liaison has helped thousands of Australians with too much debt. You have options, so call today on 0409 344 070.
Is your computer driving you crazy? Is it slow or doing things you didn't expect? Well, having a computer crash or pick up a virus can be a complete nightmare for a business, so having someone local you can trust to get you up and running again is critical. The dedicated team of experts at Computer Troubleshooters Toowoomba West will put your mind at ease from the moment you walk through the door and will get your problem solved in no time with a 100% guarantee on their work. Laptops, tablets, PCs, whatever you have, Roger and the team can fix it for you. So visit them today at 236 Bridge Street, Newtown. Well, can't get in to see them? No worries. Just call them on 4642 1331 and they'll come to you. Toowoomba Troubleshooters, Toowoomba West, on the web at www.computertroubleshooters.com.au/Toowoomba West.
Key players for me is Corey McGrady for Valleys with the wind, and then obviously Corey Blades. Now he's going to defend those kicks from the Valleys Roosters with the wind there, but we'll see how we go with kickoff just about to start, Cookie.
Yeah, Dalby kicking off, kicking down to the southern end of the field. Zach Morris has it on a tee. Greer back says time on, and away we go for the second half here of the major semi-final. It's taken by that man McGrady, who took it on his own 20-metre line, and he's got it up 15 metres up the field, and he'll play it back to Zach Miles, who does a scoot out of dummy half, and he gets it 5 short of the halfway before he's taken in a Xavier Manley tackle. So Ben Aikens gets it up over the halfway before he runs into a brick wall. Colin Green's in there, Chris Wilkes and Wardrop. So 3 big men. So Richard Murray juggles the ball out in the front, and he's wrestled to the ground by Chris Wilkes on their 40-metre line. Sedger comes out to Seymour. Seymour gets it on to Dodd, but a good tackle by Franziskas tips him into the ground. Last tackle for Valleys. Goes back to Sedger. Sedger stops and puts up a midfield bomb. Dalby let it bounce. It bounces back favourably, and Lawton will take it and comes out the other side, but Button rounds him up on that far side. Pulled down 30 metres out from his line. Corey Blades, that's a great run. Wrestled to the ground by Riles. Lucky he doesn't give a penalty away. So the 17 and Josh Bentley has a scoot out of dummy half and gets it to the halfway before he's wrapped up by Riles again, makes a double. Wardrop, he only knows one way, tucks it under his arm and goes forward, gets a quick play, the ball to Franziskas. Franziskas bounces out of Bowring's tackle, but Lawton comes in, Murray comes in to finish him, but he gets the ball away back to Blades. Blades gets it on to Mitchell Taylor. Mitchell Taylor's dummying his way up the field, and they've worked it within 20 metres of the try line. Last tackle for the Diehards. Bentley goes in, gets it back to Dylan Taylor. Dylan Taylor puts a little left foot kick. Chown has to get to the ball before Dan Manley wraps him up. 10 out from his try line with the help of Dylan Taylor, the Taylor boys.
Yeah, well, look, a good set of 6 there by the Dalby Diehards. It was against the wind, and they threw everything at Valleys Roosters, and here's a penalty inside the 10 here by Nutsy.
Yeah, look, and both sides, I think, completed their sets very good at the start of the second half here. And Valleys, Cookie went for one of those high balls, as we said. Sedger put it up. Probably just lacked a little bit of chase on it, but that's the ball. Get it up, let the wind do the work.
Yeah, it's just that it was a lucky A-grade bounce for Dalby.
Yes, exactly right.
If it bounces the other way, they're under the pump.
Exactly right.
So it goes to McGrady out in the middle, on to Aikens. Aikens straightens the play up, and he'll play it right on the halfway. Xavier Manley and Wardrop make the tackle. Bowering go down that right side with Riles. Riles looks to get a pass away, but it's shut down by Manley over the top, and his brother Dan underneath. They come back to McGrady into the middle of the field. Oh, Murray, Richard Murray ran into Wardrop, but Wardrop came off second best.
Those famous last words, Cookie.
Yeah. So McGrady's flat ball gets it on to Seymour. Seymour gets it back to McGrady. Weaving his magic, goes out, goes to Aikens, but Aikens shut down in a beautiful, Dylan Taylor ball and all. As Obi says, had to be made. They keep it going the same way to Hart. Hart tries to bash his way over. I think he's there.
He's there.
That's a great determined try by Callum Hart. No, he's saying held up by the touch judge. I think he's... No, it's going to be a try. So Valleys Roosters get first points in this second half, and they lead 14-10 after 4 minutes in this second half through a Callum Hart try.
Well, he only came back last round, and they've missed him. He was away about 6 or 7 weeks, and Valleys had lost 3 in a row for a long time. And what a great try. Determined Bob Bullocking try.
That's
there,
the 180.
Sheer determination, you'd have to say. Obi really went at him. was plenty of plenty of Dalby defence there, but the way he went onto the ball there, he's got the wind right behind him, and he crashed over to give the Valleys Roosters a good start here in the second half. So still a good crowd down here at ground level. A lot of blankets out and beanies. I forgot to bring my own beanie, Obi, but you're nice and warm up there where you're sitting. I see you're well rugged up.
Rocky and Bullwinkle, Sven. What do you call these things? Beanies?
Beanies, yeah.
Or whatever the thing for what that as well. But in that sheer wind, it sounded like the wind there, Nutsy. That was a great save. But Caleb Hart, yes, he's been very, very good and a well-deserved try. McGrady did very, very well. He actually came across the field there after a Brett Seymour break. And then Hart did the rest as Brett Seymour. He's on the far side there.
I reckon he'll kick this.
Well, the wind's sort of with him.
Not far away from where I'm standing,
and
Obi.
the ball falls off the tee.
Just looked across to the other field too, Obi. I think there'll be a change in the scoreline over there because I think Pittsworth have gone over.
Yeah. They've posted their first points.
Yeah, it was 14-0 Gatton over Pittsworth and reserve grade. So Pittsworth have scored. That'll put them on the scoreboard.
14-6. They kicked the goal.
Okay. In he comes. And
no,
just
gone right.
Yeah, it wasn't the best to kick. Right, so we just don't know what this wind's doing. Looks like it's died down since Nutsy come up here.
No, he's still down on ground level. How is it down there, Nutsy?
He's still howling. I've got in here behind a couple of wheelie bins stacked up, and it's quite nice actually. But you know, the bruise is still pretty stiff.
Danny Wassell doesn't look as though he's going to come back into play. Limping around. Zach Morris gets us underway. That's a huge kick, and it's gone out on the full.
He just run past me here before, Cookie. I was only about 2 metres from him, and he's still not real right with that right knee.
Yeah.
Look, I was going to say that when you're going into the wind, I said the first half, you've got to minimise your mistakes tenfold than the team that's got the ball with the wind, haven't you?
Yes, and especially after you've just let in a try. So they've compounded it, the diehards, by kicking out on the full. Valleys will get a penalty right on halfway in the middle.
This kick?
And McGrady will punch it, and they'll go deep into diehards territory, and they'll tap it just short of the 22.
Yeah, advantage Valleys at the moment, 14-10, 33 minutes left.
So Hart taps it, gets it to McGrady. McGrady gets it out the back to Aikens. Aikens juggles it, but he retains it, and he's wrestled to the ground by Colin Green and Wardrop. So he plays it. 15 out from the try line. It goes down to Riles. Riles tries to take the line on, but the defence is up to the task, led by Dylan Taylor and Dan Manley. They come back to the left to McGrady. McGrady onto Murray. Murray juggles the ball, does a bit of footwork before the line, but the line holds strong. They go to the right to McGrady. McGrady gets it onto Button, and Button will just crash over by sheer running, and the diehards look shell-shocked. Truly, it looked like it was just a stalemate there, but Button's burst onto the ball, and he's crashed over untouched beside the post, and for it to extend that lead to 18-10 with 8 minutes gone in this second half. And I'll tell you, the diehards are under the pump, Obi.
They certainly are. Just go back to that restart kickoff from Dalby. Just a real concreting coach killer. And we saw a similar one in the previous game, didn't we, Nutsy?
We most certainly did. What Valley's done best there was made them pay for the mistake, and it was you can't beat running on the ball hard and into space, and it was well set up by the inside backs there for Valleys. Good try.
Great try. Just sheer running and on the angle back across the grain.
Yeah, well, Cookie would have taken a good shot to slow him down, like he was really motoring into the line. And he hit the hole very nicely. Not a hand laid on him, Cookie.
Yeah, and I think they targeted.
In comes Seymour for this Goodyear goal. He makes no mistake there. So we got 10-point ball game. Valleys 20, Dalby 10 in reserve grade in that 2 versus 3. It is 14-6 Gatton over Pittsworth. We've got 32 minutes left here in this match. It'll be similar over there at the reserve grade. Now, I bet you this ball does not go out, Nutsy.
But I think they targeted Wardrop.
Yeah, Warsall back out there, Cookie.
Yeah, and Wardrop, truly, he's limping. He's only running on one leg. So
he's not right.
Yeah.
You can see he's not right.
Zach Morris, this time he kicks it straight down the middle of the field, gets it to McGrady, onto Aikens, and Aikens brings it back with some venom, but he's wrestled to the ground by that man, Wardrop, and his cohort, Xavier Manley. Budden, the try scorer, brings one out. This time they don't fall for anything, and he's stopped in his track on his own 30-metre line. Bowring goes into dummy half, gets it on to Murray. Murray. Don't know too much about him.
Geez, he's been busy cooking since he's gone out there.
Yeah, he's a live wire, but he seems to be playing a bit of a mousetrap move there to Dylan Chown, and Dylan Chown's closed down by Xavier Manley. They go to the right to McGrady. McGrady kicks straight down the middle of the field. Corey Blades lets it bounce, and it bounces away from him, and he has to go back to his goal line to pick it up, and he tries to run round, but Hawkins is up to the task, and Seymour comes in and finishes him off. He makes a double. No, he doesn't. Ambier gets out of it. That's a good run by Ambier. Still going. Great work by him. Gets it back to his own 22. Plays it to Steve Franziskas. Steve Franziskas puts a bit of a spurt on before the line, but he's easily pickings for Riles. So it goes to Xavier Manley. Xavier Manley only knows one way. He's lost the ball there.
Oh.
So heavy contact there by Aikens on Manley. And Dalby have made another CR Concrete and coach killer there. They trailed 20-10 with 29 to play.
Ambier down and back play cooking. They just got the people with him there now.
Yeah, Nutsy, like a few bigger men in the Valleys pack has really got them a bit more, just go forward. It's working well for them, isn't it?
Yeah, and look at, I mean, Dalby could ill afford that era there. Xavier Manley's been one of their best forwards for some time now, but he just come up and he thought there might have been a Valleys handy, but the referee was right in front of it and said, no, sorry, you've dropped her.
So Ambier getting attention in back play. Limping. No, he's right. Bit of a magic rub. He's been good for him, bringing it back out of the danger zone.
Cookie, isn't he a strong little runner?
Oh,
he must be a ball of muscle too, because he looks like he's tackled and he'll just push out of him. He's very, very elusive.
Yep, so fed by Sedger. Seymour takes it out, gets it to McGrady, gets it onto Hart, and Hart brings it back towards the middle, and he's wrapped up on Dalby's 40-metre line, looking for a penalty. Bowring gets it onto Sargent. Sargent flat ball off the dummy half. Gains another 10, but Corey Blades in there wrestling him, trying to put him to the ground, but the referee saying you're creeping forwards. Wassell's arms caught in the play of the ball. Plays it. Comes to McGrady. McGrady onto Murray. Murray turned back in towards the ruck. Does a bit of a spin out of it, but Colin Green wrestles him to the ground. Sedger comes out the Chown. Chown out the back. Ed Kelly rounds him up around the legs with the help of Mitchell Taylor and Colin Green. There's 15 to the try line. They go to the right. Right, Seymour throws a long one out to Sedger. Sedger tries to turn his back into the defence, and he gets the quick play of the ball. Bowring uses Wassell as a decoy on the last, but
it was a pretty smart play by Bowring, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and it looked as though he might go in and score, but
it's a changeover.
He's held up. Yep, last tackle, so it'll be a changeover. So it's all ahead of the Diehards. 28 minutes to play. They trail by 10, 20-10 the score is, and they've got 95 metres to go.
Well, I tell you what, Nutsy, isn't Denny Wassell just a competitor?
He's a big competitor, but I just don't know whether that was the right call there from Bowring, the hooker from Valleys. Seymour went across. They had numbers, and they had a 6-on-4 over there, and he was screaming for the ball. But I suppose Bowring spotted the first marker not being square and not being straight, and he had a bit of a crack at it. Nearly got through.
Well, anything can happen, Cookie. Zach Morris has kicked it from middle of the field, and I'm thinking, well, will it go out or not? But anyway, they're on the 40-metre line. Dalby's got the ball, Cookie.
And Dan Manley runs into Dylan Taylor, but he spins out of it and gets it to the halfway. So Wassell gets it onto Dylan Taylor. Dylan Taylor right to Lawton. Lawton comes back infield, wrestled to the ground, and Hart will put him out.
Yeah,
great defence by Valleys.
Yes.
Great work by Valleys. Just muscled up, and they all go over to congratulate him. So there's plenty of spirit in the Valleys camp. They got bowed out bang bang last year, and I think it's a long memory for them this year, Obi.
Yeah, it certainly is. And I tell you what, it's still advantage Valleys at the moment, even though Dalby had that penalty at that stage, just not taking advantage, Nutsy.
No, exactly right. And it's going to put them back under pressure here now.
We'll see how they
That's
use
a
this
big
win
play
here.
by Valleys.
27 minutes left, 20 points to 10, Valleys over Dalby.
So Hawkins takes it off the scrum. He wrestles his way towards the halfway, and he'll play it 5 short of it. Barron goes in at dummy half. He'll give it to Murray. Murray punching above his weight because he's not much of him. Takes it forward and he loses the ball. No, the referee says there was a hand in that. Yeah. Ed Kelly, the man that is the perpetrator, and Valleys will get a penalty just over halfway. They'll kick to this clubhouse side, so...
Oh.
What did he do that for?
Oh, look, you've got the breeze behind you and he's in the middle of the field.
Yeah,
Why would you kick this side and lose 2
real
metres?
bad one. Anyway, Gatton scored.
I thought it was a game of winning metres, Cookie.
It was a real bad. That's the worst kick I've seen. It's almost as bad as David McGrady's down there at Father Angel that day.
Yeah, from the dropout.
Yeah.
It was an absolute shocker.
Anyway, here's Valleys, Dexter Buchanan.
Yeah, charges it on like a bull, plays it 40 metres to the try line, Bowring.
Yes.
Manly. An absolute set up the dump. Nick Sargent, Xavier Manley smashes him to the ground. They go to the right. Buchanan again. But that man, Xavier Manley, over the top, just monstered him all right, Nutsy.
Yeah.
So McGrady spots a hole, gets it on to Sedger. Sedger in support, but Wassell's there to cover from the play the ball. They keep it going the same way. Wardrop finds a little hole in behind the ruck, but he's pulled down by Buchanan. Last tackle, Dylan Taylor punches it into the corner. It's chased by Mitchell Taylor, and they let it go into touch. Yes, and into touch, so good kick in the end for the Diehards. Now they've got Valleys 10 out from their try line with an S&K drilling scrum. Now they can jam up in this set of 6. 26-20, Valleys lead with 10 to play, and they've gone off the boil, the Roosters, Obi.
Yes, they certainly have, but it's a feed here for them. See if they can use this win. Someone use the win today. That'd be really, really nice. And in reserve grade, looks like that's full time over there. And I think Gatton have taken that out. What's that final score?
22 points to 16, Obi.
22 points to 16. Congratulations to Gatton. They go on in reserve grade and they'll play Highfields there, whilst Pittsworth will play Waddles next week in reserve grade. Back to the game, Cookie.
Yeah, so Chown Valley's bringing it out of their own danger zone, but he's forced back.
That's good defence.
Yeah, Diehards' defence has gone up a gear, and they force him back nearly to his 22. Big 15 metres there for Greer back in the defensive line. So they play it. Buchanan, absolutely smashed by Hopper from marker. So now McGrady decides to put in a kick early in the tackle count. Ambier goes back to his wing and he picks it up on his own 22. Heads upfield, does a bit of a dance in front of him. But Seymour wrestles him to the ground.
Holy moly, he is on fire, and Ambier is one tough cookie to tackle. Here's Manly.
Xavier Manley.
9 minutes left, 26 points to 20, Valleys over Dalby.
And this game's gone up a gear. Steve Franziskus takes one out of dummy half. That's a good run. Gets it back to the halfway before he's wrestled to the ground. Now he'll get the penalty out of it. The referee saying you're all offside, the Valleys Roosters. You're too quick in the line speed.
That's experience for you there, Nutsy.
Yeah, exactly. The game has picked up a level or two here, Cookie and Obi.
So Mitchell Taylor kicks to this clubhouse side, gains 10 metres. So Wassell will tap it on Valley's 40-metre line. Goes to Wilkes. Wilkes, he'll dummy to his left, just takes it forward. Goes to his knees, gets the quick play the ball. Goes to Xavier Manley. Xavier Manley, Hughes. Bowring comes out the other side of it. So they go on to Dylan Taylor. Dylan Taylor on to Hopper. Hopper with some speed. Gets it within 15. No, gets a ball back.
He's passed it straight back to the Valleys player there.
Richard Murray from Valleys.
Richard Murray. So they've let Valleys off the hook there. And Valleys will bring it out through Chown. Runs across field. Beats one. Can't beat the cover of Dylan Taylor over there. with the help of Hopper, pulls him to ground. So they come back to the middle through Buchanan. Buchanan, that's a good run. Hopper missed him in the first hit, but Wassell cleans him up. Goes to Bowring. Bowring onto Button. Button gets it just short of the halfway on that far touchline. It comes back to McGrady in the middle. McGrady gets it onto Short. Nathan Short gets it over the halfway before Wilkes traps him.
That was a costly one, Cookie.
It was on the
tackle
fourth.
5. That was
Yeah.
tackle 5.
And he's going to call out Steve
I
Franziskus.
don't know what he's arguing about because he's been very consistent with his calls here, Greenback. Steve Franziskus, the captain, coming over. And I think it was pretty clear. I thought it was a penalty, didn't you guys?
Second grab at him as he went to get up there. He had a hold of his foot. He had no other way to go other than to penalise him.
No. So, could it be costly? 7 minutes to play. Valleys cling to a 26-20. Diehards are really fought back in this game because they were going nowhere for the first 60 minutes, but they've come alive. They've clawed their way back to that 26-20. But Valleys, can they shut the game down with 6 to play? They tap it. Dodd, Sedger, onto Seymour, but Seymour just barreled in the tackle. Wilkes over the top, and he gives him some lip too.
That's no way. Bit of feeling.
So Murray.
Yes.
Yep. I don't know why a little winger's taken
Wassell again. So it goes to Short, onto McGrady. McGrady onto Button. Button tries to crash his way over, but there's plenty of Diehards defence, and their defensive line's held strong.
He's dropped it on. He's dropped it, Cookie.
He has. It was just a cold drop. Wasn't it nutsy down there?
Yes. Good physical defence. Dalby got in there in numbers and really jarred the ball as he tried to get up. He just dropped her.
And the crowd's just about doubled with that Pittsburgh Captain game finishing. They're all watching it from the other side. There's plenty of football left here. 26 points to 20. Valleys over Dalby with 6 minutes left. Cookie.
So, fed by Dylan Taylor, gets it on to Zach Morris. Zach Morris just takes it forward, but he's forced back and he's 10 metres out from his own try line. Slow play the ball.
He got an arm in there too.
Yeah. So, Corey Blades takes a scoot out of dummy half, gains 10 metres. Murray rounds him up. Steve Franziskus tries to beat Budden, but Budden comes back at him, rounds him up with the help of Buchanan and Bowring in there as well. So, he plays it. Goes to Wardrop. Wardrop onto Wilkes. Wilkes just hung on to a bit of a howdy-doody pass there. Goes to Corey Blades onto Ambia. Ambia stays in their field of play, and Valleys have been caught offside inside the 10 metres, so this could be costly. 5 to play, and Dalby will go deep into Valleys territory. That's a good kick, and they'll tap it 30 out from the try line. Ambia limping to the ball. Wassell taps it, gets it onto Wilkes. Wilkes will tuck it under his arm, runs into a wall. I'll tell you, young Murray, Richard Murray.
Isn't he a little goer? He's lost it.
Now he's given a penalty away.
Don't do that, Chris Wilkes. He's thrown the ball at Seymour's head.
Well, Seymour's giving him a little bit because of the mistake.
Sorry, Nutty.
Yeah, Seymour will give him a little bit of a, how was that? And then Wilkes didn't like that, like a little bit of a verbal, but...
4 minutes left.
It was just a loose carry.
It was.
So, Valleys will tap at 35 from their try line.
Not a tired boy. Boys has been pretty brutal the second half.
Dodd taps it and just takes the yards and gets it just over his 40-metre line before he's taken in a Mitchell Taylor tackle. Bowring goes to Sedger. Sedger onto Buchanan. Buchanan backs into the defence before he's wrapped up by Wardrop. Bowring again onto Murray. Murray short change, passing on to Short. Short wrestles his way, but the Dalby defence wraps him up right in the middle of the halfway line. 3.5 minutes to play. They cling to a 6-point lead. Chowns in the backfield. He's got Corey Blades to beat. He gets it out to Zach Miles. Zach Miles heads back infield. He's still going.
Great tackle.
Mitchell Taylor, absolute beauty. Pulls him down 10 from the try line. So they go to Corey McGrady gets it on to Buchanan and he'll crash over. And that's the ball game here this afternoon in the major semi-final. Valley stretched that lead to 30-20 with 3 to play, and they're heading on to the Wattles Warriors next week, Amy, in the major semi-final.
Oh, certainly. You would think with 3 minutes left to make it 30 points to 20. Valley's Roosters, they've been fantastic. Dalby threw everything at them the last 20 minutes or so, and they've come up trumps, had some fearless defence, and that little man, Richard Murray, when he put that tackle on Chris Wilkes, she turned over, and off they went, Nutsy.
Yeah, so that's right, it come from that mistake, and we've seen plenty of those from both sides in this second half. Just numbers, getting numbers into tackles, and it's definitely, you know, it's very, very cold out there, and we've seen the ball being ajarred a couple of times. Xavier Manley there, they really shot in on him, and the ball flies out, and that was the case again. Wilkes just under the attention of just under the attention of good physical defence.
Yeah, that's it.
And the ball's bobbed out, and then of course they've got a penalty on the back of that, and they've rode down there. And the Valleys have been very orchestrated. Once they got close to the Dalby diehards line, they've really got some set plays there that they've really put. Seymour's been really heavily involved in this second half, particularly in defence, Obi and Cookie. I think he's been one of Valley's strongest here in the second half.
Yeah, well, I'll give you the votes already for me. Brett Seymour 4, 3 to Corey McGrady. Look, as for Dalby is concerned, look, Mitchell Taylor's been their best as far as I'm concerned at 1.2. Dexter Buchanan scored 2 tries as a front row. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm happy with that, mate.
Happy with that. What about you, Nutsy?
I thought Chown's try to beat Blades might have got him in a position.
Nudge Buchanan.
Nudge Buchanan.
Okay, we'll put him in there, mate. No worries.
And he set up that he made the big run just then to set up that last play.
Exactly right. And every time he runs the ball, he just doesn't. Like, he doesn't like to go down. He fights the defenders all the time. That's, for a little fella, I really like that in his football.
Yeah, he's very spirited, that's for sure. So
he
Hart
will not surrender, Cookie.
Takes it down that right-hand edge, gets it over the halfway, gets a quick play, the ball Bowering, dummies.
Dropped it here.
45 seconds left. Nutsy, I'll give you this to go down, maybe get a couple of interviews down there. If you could give that to Nev, maybe.
Who's that?
To Nev. Cherry.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
That's the Hutchies Cup, you idiot.
Oh.
We've been given it out for 2 seasons now.
Hey, where is Nev?
Yeah, he's down there somewhere.
I've just come up here, fellas. Jeez, it's warmer up here, isn't it?
Yes.
It's beautiful up here.
It is.
Oh, I don't know why you didn't have me up here all the time.
Yeah, that's
down there freezing.
Anyway, we've got finals again next week, Avey. So the season one drops out.
I just hope it's about 10 degrees warmer, Cookie. I can tell you.
So Dalby will try and rally one last attack, and it ends up with Franciscus. Franciscus tries to beat Sedger. Beats Sedger, beats Seymour, still going, gets it back to Ambier, but Ambier beats Seymour, still going, but now he's dropped it, and that man Murray ends up with it. He's been everywhere, Richard Murray.
That's full time, Cookie.
And there goes the siren. So Valleys have run out winners in this major semi-final, 32-20 over the Dalby Diehards, and they'll advance to the major semi next week against the Wattles Warriors, the minor premiers. And then in the second semi-final, the knockout semi-final, you've got Highfields up against Dalby.
Yeah, Nutsy, you got someone?
No, not yet.
All right, so that's good. So, look, a great win there by the Valleys Roosters. They've been under the pump the last month, and they've turned up trumps.
That's a good win.
Convincing wins, and I tell you what, we can't wait until Valleys Wattles next week, Cookie. We've had Mats and Rasmussen's, and they played each other about 3 or 4 weeks ago in a perler of a match. So, look, the 1 and 2 teams of the year, Valleys and Wattles, get at it again next week. So let's have a look at it. We've got Super Saturday, and it's going to be late matches, and 6:30 is going to be the A-grade match between Wattles and Valleys. 5 o'clock will be Dalby versus Highfields, and in C-grade, 2nd Division, Gatton versus Warwick. That's at 2 o'clock. Pittsworth versus Stanthorpe is the other game in 2nd Division under 18. Dalby versus Highfields. Gatton versus South. Yes, Nutsy?
Yeah, I've got Steve Franciscus with me here now. Very disappointing there, Steve. You really mounted a fight back when Valleys got away to a 26 points to 10. You didn't say die, and you got so close back there, and just a little bit of ill decision in the finish.
Oh, just ill discipline. We just didn't deserve to win it. Just keeps coming up with the same poor excuses, and then when we make the errors, we cry spilt milk, and Valleys deserve to beat us. Yeah, it just hurts.
Steve, what did you think of the Valleys side?
Oh, they just did the job, kept it simple. Had all the ball, and we couldn't defend them. Simple.
Go back next week to play Highfields?
Yeah, we get to have a look at ourselves this week and see what happens.
Good luck, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah, and as I said, under 18s, Dalby, Highfields and Gatton South. We'll probably call that Gatton South again.
Can I grab you quickly before
on 3:30. Back to you, Nutsy.
Yeah, Brett, I've got Brett Seymour. Magnificent effort. Your defence in that second half we thought was just outstanding, very special, helped lift your side.
Yeah, well it's what wins these big games. So, no, I was really impressed with the couple of young kids, Richie Murray, Benny Atkins, first game all year. Like, you know, we had a couple go down, but the next man up's our motto. So it's one down, so we've got a couple to go.
So you got to get some real confidence out of that game. Valleys are a very tough side. You in a 10-all at half time, you got away to a good lead, 26-10. They come back at you. You stayed composed and come away with it.
Yeah, credit to Corey and a little Dill Chow, and they tore it away for 60, 70 minutes, and they get that play up the middle. You know, they're quality players, so everything we do in attack's built around them, and our defence is going to be the key going forward.
Hey, Brett, you've got to get a bit of confidence out of this game, looking towards the Waddles game next week. Yeah. You've got to take a fair bit of positive out of this game.
Yeah, certainly. We know our first up contact wasn't real flash today. They were probably breaking a few too many, but next week everything's revolved around Matty and Jackson Green, so we know what, you don't have to be Einstein to work out how they're going to play, and stopping their big men's going to limit their sort of impact.
Well, good luck next week.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Give him the cup. Nutsy.
What?
See that cup in your hand, mate?
Yeah, here, Nev. Cup.
Thank you.
No, you should have given it to Brett.
Oh, this cold weather.
Yeah.
Oh, going back to Wolf Creek.
Cherry and George McVeigh coming off. It's been freezing here, Cookie, and
I'm coming back up there with you guys.
Yeah, and what a game we've seen, mate, today. Oh,
yeah.
2 games, mate. Fantastic 2 games.
Yeah, both finals went to the wire. All the sides, excuse me, have given themselves a real opportunity to win the games. Excuse
right
me.
There, Cookie.
Yeah, I just got a frog in my voice.
Yeah, well, you had a
but
cold
yeah,
tomorrow.
no, both games absolutely high quality here this afternoon. Weather probably hindered the standard of play at times, but moving forward, as you said, Valleys up against Waddles in the major, and Dalby lived to breathe another day, but they've got a lot of work to fix up against Highfields.
Yeah, they played well in patches, but Valleys just didn't let them into the game as far as I was concerned.
No,
Let's go through those games for next week. In second division, Gatton play Warwick. Pittsworth play Stanthorpe that's at 2 o'clock, and then 3:30 games under 18s, Dalby versus Highfields. Gatton play South in that under 18 game. That's a knockout game. Dalby Highfields to see who makes it into the grand final. In reserve grade, it is Highfields versus Gatton. That's for a berth in the 2018 reserve grade, the Toowoomba Toyota reserve grade grand final. That's at 6:30. At 5 o'clock is Pittsworth versus Waddles in the knockout game for reserve grade. Now for A grade, 5 o'clock kickoff for Dalby versus Highfields in the knockout game. And then for the right, one of these teams are 80 minutes away from the 2018 grand final, Waddles versus Valleys. That's at 6:30. And so here we are, and for the last say, I hope you've enjoyed our big, long, difficult day it has been for audio.
Super Sunday.
Super Sunday. We'll be back here Oh, we'll go to air probably around about 3:15 next Saturday for Super Saturday Cookie in this wonderful Criterion Hotel Dalby final series. And for the last say, it's over to you, Terry Cook.
Yes, so on behalf of the Obie and Cookie Call team and our partners, Power FM, look after your friends and family and rugby league football. It's the greatest game of all.